Hello friends, in this session I am going to take up discussion on yet another important financial committee within parliamentary functioning of India, and that committee is Committee on Estimates. This is one committee on which the questions in prelims as well as main exam have been asked on several occasions. So we will take up for discussion Committee on Estimates. First I will be telling you about the composition of the committee, and thereafter we will take up for discussion the functions, and then I will be explaining you that why this committee is so important within the scheme of parliamentary control, financial control over executive. So this is what is going to be the component or the nature of discussion which we have to do. Now, as far as Committee on Estimates is concerned, first thing you should remember that this committee consists of 30 members. How many members are there in Committee on Estimates? 30 members. And the most important thing that all the members are derived from Lok Sabha. Wholly derived from Lok Sabha, meaning this is one committee of parliament in which there is no representation to Rajya Sabha. All the 30 members of Committee on Estimates are from Lok Sabha only. There is no representation given to Rajya Sabha. So this is very, very important thing. Another important thing about the committee that all parties are given representation, given proportionate representation, in the committee, meaning all parties are given representation in the committee based on their representation in Lok Sabha. Okay, so if one party has 60% representation in Lok Sabha, then 60% representation will be given to that particular party in the Committee on Estimate as well. And to make it happen, the members of the committee are elected through proportional representation by means of single transferable vote system. But this is what everybody knows, that representation in the committee is dependent on the representation of the party in the house. This is the reason why hardly there will be any, you can say, dispute in the manner in which members of the committee are elected. So this is very, very important that parties are given representation in this Committee on Estimates proportionate to their representation in lower house of parliament, that is Lok Sabha. That is very, very important. And again, there can never be overlapping between Council of Minister and Committee on Estimate. Okay, no overlapping. Meaning what? Right? Meaning what? That ministers are not eligible to be included in Committee on Estimates. And if a member of Committee on Estimates is inducted in ministry, then with immediate effect that member will lose the membership of the committee. But at no point of time you will find a common member as far as Council of Ministers and Committee on Estimate is concerned. And to ensure this, what is the provision? That ministers are not eligible to be included in the committee, and if a committee member is included in Council of Ministers, then with immediate effect he loses the membership of the committee. Very, very important. Okay. Then the term of the committee is 1 year. Term of committee is 1 year. Okay. And very, very important component, what chairman of this committee, chairman of the committee is appointed, chairman of the committee is appointed by a Speaker of Lok Sabha, a Speaker of Lok Sabha. So the chairman is appointed. And who is the appointing authority? Speaker of the Lok Sabha. So from among the members of the committee, one member will be appointed as chairman by the Speaker of Lok Sabha. And this is very, very important, right? This is very, very important. Why this is important, you need to understand, right? If you have the understanding about the composition, now I can tell you the functions of the committee. And I will first be telling you the functions of the committee, but I know even if I tell you the functions of the committee, most of you will not be able to understand the importance of this committee. So I will have to give example followed by explanation, with which you will have complete clarity about the functions of this committee and the importance of this committee. But let me first tell you that as far as this committee on estimate is concerned, if we see the functions, so three important functions. Number one, right? Number one, to suggest the form in which estimates are to be presented in Parliament. To suggest the form in which estimates are to be presented in the Parliament. Second important is to report on efficiency of the policy underlying estimates. And the third important function of this committee is to examine whether money is well laid out within the limits of the policy implied in estimates. So these are the three important functions of Committee on Estimates. The first important function is to suggest the form in which estimates are to be presented in the Parliament. Second important function is to report on the efficiency of policy underlying the estimates. And the third important function of the committee is to examine whether the money is well laid out within the limits of policy implied in the estimates or not. But I will, many of you may not understand exactly what this committee is doing. So to explain you what this committee has to do, I will give you an example. And you will have to think over the example which I am giving, then you can understand, right, that what is the importance of Committee on Estimates. Now, listen to this example very carefully. Let us assume, so it's an assumption, let us assume that there is a servant in your house, and in your house 4 family members are there, and the role which you have assigned to the servant or the domestic help is to prepare food for all the 4 members within the family. So lunch, dinner, breakfast, or all 3 meals. The servant or the cook or the domestic help has to prepare for 4 members in your family. And you have given, right, you have given additional responsibility to that person, that that person has to present estimates and then has to procure all ration vegetables required for kitchen. So that person will be doing the procurement, purchasing of ration, purchasing of vegetables to prepare food. Now one morning, let us assume, one morning that servant is coming to you and asking you, sir, give me 10,000 rupees. I want to purchase green vegetables for next 2 days. Let us suppose this is what is the statement which that servant or that person is, making in front of you, that give me 10,000 rupees, I want to purchase vegetables for next 2 days. What will be your reaction? Immediately your reaction will be what? That are you out of your senses? You will ask that servant, are you out of your senses? How can you demand 10,000 rupees to get vegetables for next 2 days? Why this reaction will come from you? Because you have clarity of estimates. You know that 4 members in the family, and for 2 days, if vegetables are required for 3 meals for each member, then if the servant is demanding somewhere around 500 rupees, it's justified, but 10,000 is not at all justified. So it is because you have the clarity about the estimates. You know that one individual can consume how much vegetable in one meal. It can be maximum 200 grams. Okay, 300 grams. And 3 meals means 750 grams. And 4 member means, right? 4 member means that it will be 3 kg. 3 kg a day, 6 kg. So 6 kg, all vegetables put together, whether it is potato, tomato, onions, ladyfinger, and whatsoever, all put together. And the prevailing price, that maybe 100 rupees, 110 rupees kg. 6 kg, all vegetables put together to be procured. So this clarity is there. This is why there is a control. Now let us assume the same for Parliament. If the Ministry of Surface Transport is making a proposal before the Parliament that we want to construct 1,000 kilometer long, right, 4-lane national highway, right, 4-lane national highway. For this, the Parliament should approve 20,000 crore rupees. Now what Parliament will do? What the Lok Sabha will do? They don't know, right? They don't know whether this demand is justified or not. But they know that yes, 4-lane national highway, if is constructed in the country, it will help economy grow well, and it will, overall economic growth and development it can ensure. So what Parliament will do? So this is what is the role which we have given to the estimates committee. We have, estimates committee will suggest the form in which estimates are to be presented before the parliament. So estimate committee will suggest the format, that in what format the demand for grant is to be presented before the parliament. So in this particular case, what the estimate committee will suggest? The estimate committee will suggest that you should tell that for 1 kilometer 4-lane national highway, 20 crore rupees is required. Out of this 20 crore, right, 12 crore rupees on an average will be spent on land acquisition, because in rural area the land will be acquired at cheaper price, and in urban area the land will be acquired at costly price. It will be high cost will be there. In metro city the land will be even more costlier. So they will have to tell that out of 20 crore for 1 kilometer 4 lane, 12 crore will be spent on land acquisition, and they will have to give the breakup that for 1 kilometer long 4-lane national highway, how much land is to be acquired. Then, right, then in that proposal they will say that 4-lane 1 kilometer national highway, for material 4 crore will be required, and they will have to give for this much gravels will be needed, this much coal tar will be needed, this much cement will be needed, this much quantity of iron rod will be needed, labor cost will be this much. These many skilled laborers, these many unskilled laborers will have to work for these many days. So like that, then parliament will be in a position to examine, discuss and approve the demand. Otherwise, they will not. This is why the role of estimate committee is very, very important. And not only they will suggest the format in which estimates are to be presented, but they will also see the efficiency of the policy underlying the estimates, whether that kind of policy is efficient or not. And not only that, then when estimates are presented, they will see whether the ministry has demanded the money exactly in the same way as they suggested or not. So this is what is the role of estimate committee. And I feel that this committee is playing a very important role. Otherwise, it will be very, very difficult for Parliament or Lok Sabha in particular to discuss the demand for grant. They cannot even examine, scrutinize, discuss the demand for grant. They are able to do only because the form in which estimates are to be presented is suggested by estimate committee. They also report on efficiency of policy underlying the estimates, and they also examine whether the money is well laid out within the policy implied in the estimates or not. Now, very important, why only members from Lok Sabha are given representation in the estimate committee on estimates? Because you know by now that money bill is presented, right? Money bill is presented in Lok Sabha, can be presented only in the Lok Sabha. And Lok Sabha plays the decisive role, bigger role in the process through which money bill is passed by Parliament. Rajya Sabha has no role as such in the money bill. But this committee has a role. When demand for grant is to be presented before the Parliament, and that can only be presented in the Lok Sabha. Once it is presented, this committee has no role. And this is the reason why all the members in this committee are derived from Lok Sabha. No representation is given to Rajya Sabha in Committee on Estimates. So two regions, right? Two regions. Demand for grant in the form of appropriation bill is to be presented in Lok Sabha. Okay. The budget is to be presented in Lok Sabha. The money bill is to be presented in Lok Sabha. And this committee has a role to play at the time of presentation. Okay. And therefore, all the members in this committee are from Lok Sabha. No representation to Rajya Sabha. Once in UPSC exam, it was asked that Public Account Committee and Estimates Committee are the twin sisters in the parliamentary functioning of India. Comment. Now in such type of questions, what answer you have to write? First you will have to establish that why these two committees can be considered sisters. Why these two committees can be considered sisters? Who are sisters? Two girls with same mother. So these two committees are for same purpose. Public Account Committee as well as Committee on Estimates is primarily for the purpose of strict financial control of Parliament over executive. But one committee has a role when the Parliament is approving the demand for grant, and the other committee has a role when government is making expenditure as per the approval by Parliament. So Public Account Committee will play a role when government has done expenditure in accordance with what was approved by Parliament. And Committee on Estimates will play a role when Parliament is going to approve the demand for grant. And this is the reason why together these two, right, are ensuring a very, very effective financial control of Parliament over executive. So Committee on Estimates plays a very, very important role within the parliamentary functioning of India, and during the passage of budget in general, and when the Parliament is, going to take up demand for grant of different ministries and department for approval, that time Committee on Estimates has to play a very, very important role. So this is all about Committee on Estimates.